Hi, I'm going to show you today how to describe an important person to you, how to create the web. So if you've done a free write, you have your person. You will write that person in the middle of your web. So like for instance, I'm going to do my grandmother, Greloo. And then off to the side, you're going to have the same main points that we have talked about before. Sight will be your first main point. Smell, taste, or sound will be your second main point. I'm going to focus on smell and taste. And then last, feeling. Okay, so it's the same main points. The main thing I want to explain to you is that you will not describe the physical person. It's more memories, things that remind you of this person. For instance, sight, I'm not going to describe how tall she is, like 5'5". I'm not going to describe what color her hair is. Instead, I'm going to write things that I see that remind me of her. For instance, I chose the color red because it's her favorite color. It always reminds me of my grandmother. I chose pots and pans because she's always cooking, so that reminds me of my grandmother. I chose sewing, little bits, things that are related to sewing because she's always sewing some project. Now remember, off of these, you need to also include details. So for instance, for red, I included the actual color ruby because that is one of the reasons that she enjoys red, because ruby is her birthstone. I might include clothes because she likes to wear a lot of red clothing and things like that. For pots and pans, I might include I would include things like, hold on one second here. I might do baking, might do rolls, and then off of baking I might include as a detail I put overflowing bowls of dough. My grandmother likes to make these cinnamon rolls, and a lot of times she has to let the dough rise in a bowl, and so she always has these all over the house somewhere because she's always making rolls. Rolls I might include because she makes those rolls. She likes to roll them out in a big log, and we cut them up for her, so that always reminds me of my grandmother. So that's kind of along the lines of what I'm talking about with sight. With smell and taste, I'm not talking her actual smell and taste. I'm talking things that might remind me, like the spice curry reminds me of my grandmother because she grew up in India and she likes to cook a lot of curry and she uses that spice, so that reminds me of my grandmother. I might put cinnamon because she uses that in the rolls that she makes for us. So I would include cinnamon. So whenever I smell that, I think of my grandmother. It's not necessarily how she smells. Now you could describe a perfume that they wear that reminds you of them, but most likely it's going to be smells that remind you and give you memories of that person. I'm not really going to do feelings because I think that's self-explanatory. Basically, you're going to include feelings, how that person makes you feel when you're with them or when you're remembering them. And basically, that's how to do the web that is going to be due on Wednesday.